Hi there, and welcome back to another Spinato Spin. Great to see you. Great to have you here. Hopefully you're enjoying the holidays, doing whatever you can to relax and enjoy the company that you're keeping right now. It's a super time of the year. But super time, and I talk about this just about every week now, is to start looking at some New Year's resolutions. What are you going to do to make yourself more effective coming into 2018? What was it that you missed in 2017 that you wish, if I just had more time, I want to complete, just to keep the momentum going? Well, we do that Spinato Spins special seconds for you every Monday at 4, and I think we touched on something very interesting with the Spinato Spin this week. I started talking about, kind of like the end game, if you will, the way life really is, There's certain thing about something when you know something's going to end. It gives you a sense of urgency. And life's really like that. I mean, I don't know what else I could tell you as far as motivating you or lifting you up or just finding some buttons to push with you. But think about this. There's only a certain amount of time we have. I said it on the Spinato Spin before, and I've said it many times. We're only here for a flicker. That's all we got. If you look at the whole history of the world, if it's 400 years old, 500 years old, whatever it is, a lifetime of 100 years or 70 years, 80 years is not really that long. It's not that long at all. And what happens is a lot of people convince themselves that I got all the time in the world. No big deal. I'll get to that someday. I'll get to that. What's that? An island somewhere, right? Someday I'll, right? We're never going to get to it unless we really get ourselves focused. Well, here's an exercise to keep you focused and get you thinking about things. Look at this picture here. Pretend you're actually on your deathbed, okay? You're on your deathbed and they're going to cut the lights out on you, all right? Now, here's the hard question to ask yourself. What would you say to the people that come see you on your deathbed? What would you be saying to them? What is the feeling that you'll have when you know that the end is coming soon? Will you feel fulfilled? Will you feel like you actually lived the life you really meant to live? You really meant to live, put here on this planet to actually do, and the things you really want to accomplish? Or will you have regrets? You see, there's still time. But you got to start thinking that way. You got to start thinking that there's an end game. If we played a baseball game or a basketball game or any sort of sport that maybe we love and just love to participate in, and we say, you know what? Don't worry about it. There's no end to the game. Just keep playing. Just keep playing. Don't worry about it. Well, what kind of an attitude would you have towards the game? You'd have a lax, loose attitude. You really would. But when you know there's an end, and if we don't outscore these guys within this short period of time, we're going to lose, and we don't really like to lose, it's a whole different attitude, isn't it? And that's what life's about. Life's about, you do wind up on a deathbed. You do wind up somewhere where it all ends, but we just don't know when. You see, you got to get stuff done when you can. There's a motivational talk and inspirational talk, and hopefully it's a type of talk that grips you. Takes you, kind of like the Christmas Carol type of thing. Here we are now and here we are in the future. What's it going to be like? It's up to you. And here's a couple of points just to, get ourselves going as we wrap this up. This funny thing, people says, well, this really doesn't, I really don't feel happy. Well, the bottom line is it's nothing's going to make you feel happy. You got to feel happy. See, it's inside of you. That's why the you is inside that big circle. You know what else is inside of that? Fun. See, a lot of people think that fun and happiness are out there. You got to go out to go get it. No, it's inside of you. It comes from here. There's no way else you can evaluate it. There's nowhere else to get it. It comes from you. If you're doing something and it's not fun, stop doing it. Stop doing it. If you go to work and you don't like it and you don't think it's fun, there's something wrong. You haven't approached it the right way. Why would you torture yourself? If you're not having fun while you're doing something, stop doing it. Find out a way to make it fun. It's up to you. It's up to you to decide how to do that. At the same time, happiness, same thing. I'm not happy. Why aren't you happy? Well, here's one thing Gandhi said, real simple to understand. What is happiness? Well, happiness is real simple. Happiness is when you align three things: what you think, what you say, and what you do. That means you're on the track of being happy. Well, if you think this job you got stinks and you don't like it at all, and yet you say that over and over, but then you keep on doing it, what is that? You're not going to accomplish anything. You're not going to give your best effort. You got to do things where you want to become your best, right? Isn't that what we're all here for, to be the best we possibly can? And it makes it awful hard if you're not in line with that kind of stuff, and you're not happy, and you're not feeling any sort of enjoyment of what you're doing. Let's look at one other thing, just to even broaden our horizons a little more. You got to create a vision. We talked about the Arnold Schwarzenegger story on how this guy with a thick Austrian accent, and first movie was a total flop, stay hungry, wasn't able to do anything, but yet he sat there in a coffee parlor while somebody was following him around, and a writer was following him around doing a feature story on him. Said, well, now that you've completed your career as a bodybuilder, what are you going to do next? And he just said in a real plain voice, he said, I'm going to become the #1 box office star in all of Hollywood. And the guy kind of flinched. He said, well, how can that be? He's thinking, but then he just asked the question, well, how are you going to do that? He said, well, it's the same process I used in bodybuilding. I created a vision of myself, and then I worked to make it look as if it was actually true. In other words, what he did was he told himself a lie, but then he turned the lie around and made it a reality. That's how he became a strong bodybuilder. That's how he built his body. He used that same approach to become a great bodybuilder, to build his career in Hollywood. That's a lesson for all of us. All we want to do is really believe the vision that we set forth for ourselves. A big vision of what we have. Now here's another thing we're going to run right through. We've all have this incredible creativity ability in us, of Einstein. All Einstein did was found himself very, very interested in one thing, and he used all of his creative powers to prove what he was trying to understand. He was amazed with the magnetic forces of the world. He was convinced that there were a lot more forces in the world. He wanted to know how they all worked. Ever since he was little, that's what he went after. That was his creativity. His creativity was trying to figure out how to prove all that. Well, the creativity that we have, let's show that one more time. We all have the creativity of Einstein within us, but unfortunately, what we do is we use that creativity for something really negative. We use it to worry. We conjure up all these thoughts in our head about what we're going to worry about. And we take all these beautiful color pictures. Instead of taking pictures of our future and how great it's going to be, we waste the time and create instead of a compelling future, we develop a fearful future. We get scared. We get reluctant to do stuff. We don't really attack our goals. We don't really get ourselves going. But that's the Spinato spin for this week. I hope it hit home a little bit. And it's always great talking to you. And enjoy the holiday season and have a great week, everybody. Take care now.